Hey there, everyone. How are you on this Wellness Wednesday? It's so great to see you today, to hear from all of you. Got a lot of weather things going on today, so I think this is really a good time for us to talk about how to look at your immune system, some basics with your immune system, and how you can take control of your health because we want you all the rest of this year to be your best. Unfortunately, I know you know that we're in a culture that doesn't tend to pay a lot of attention to our immune system. It kind of sounds boring to some. And when we do, it's usually when we're already down and we're already not feeling good. But I just really believe that this is something we should focus on every season, all the time, and think about trying to stay healthy before we get below the wellness line. But let me just ask you, if you're constantly stressed, if you get sick all the time, if you don't feel like you've ever really gotten back on your feet after having something yucky going on, you may have some regular stomach issues, you might feel sluggish all the time. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's your immune system. It needs some attention. And the state of your body really matters, okay? And it really matters more even during this time because there's so many things that are attacking our bodies. I mean, we already know about the bacteria and the viruses and all of these things. And so it's just so important that we keep ourselves in tip-top shape. And you can do that. So before you start deciding, hey, I'm just going to stay away from people, I'm going to stay in a bubble wrap, as we feel like we may have done for the last 2 or 3 years, give me a few minutes just to kind of explain to you how you can really live peaceably. You can really live in this world with all the environmental things that might be trying to attack you, but you don't have to panic. You don't have to have fear. We're going to walk through the basics of your immune system. And I think as you learn how that works, you're going to have a little bit more confidence because you're going to learn how you can really strengthen your weakened system. And we've got 5 ways for you to support your system. So I'm glad you're here with me today. Let me just introduce myself to you quickly. This is Dr. Nozella, Doctor of Education, and super passionate about empowering people to achieve the quality of life that they desire. Professionally, I've been a nutrition educator, been a professor, I've been a writer, I've been a researcher, total of 15 years as an educator. And I just really enjoy helping others have the information, the resources they need so they can be their best self. And I've discovered this personally. I have to be intentional. I have to be protective about my own health and my own self-care. And so I'm really sharing some things with you on how I have learned to be proactive because I believe my body is a temple of God and we only get one. And I want to take the best care of it that I can. As many of you know, I have struggled with my health all of my life. I had poor energy. I have fainting spells. My mother searched for years for things that would help me. She learned a lot of natural things on her own that have been helpful for me. But 45 years ago, actually, that's when I really hit rock bottom. And I went to a holistic doctor, and he's the one that told me something that was going to change my life because he said, young lady, if you don't make lifestyle changes now, you're going to have diabetes by the time you're in your 30s. You're going to have heart disease. And that was something that ran in my family, and I did not want to have to experience that as well. And so I have just been studying over these years ways that I could work with my body, ways I could work with the design that God has, because I believe the body was designed to heal itself. And I am so excited because actually, as I've been sharing, I just can't help but share my last doctor's appointment. She was like, she was amazed at my age. And she was like, I don't know, whatever you're doing, continue to do it. And so I'm going to be sharing some of those things with you because there are things that I'm doing to keep my immune system strong. And there are things that we are learning from science and research that anyone can do. And as you do them, you're going to be always helping your body and helping your system. We don't have to claim that thing that just because you start getting older, that you have to start breaking down, okay? We don't have to claim that. So before I get started, let me put this disclaimer out there. What I'm sharing with you today isn't intended to diagnose. It's not intended to treat or to cure any disease. What I'm sharing is just for educational purposes. I'm a doctor of education, and I'm dedicated, as I said before, to helping you discover how to remove the disparities and provide equitable care and information so that you can help yourself and others. My work starts with just empowering you to have access to all the information and the resources that you need to just make the best decisions for your health. I believe if we work with our body the way it was designed and give it what it needs, the body will heal itself. So, hey, let's get started. Let's just talk first about some of the basics. If you really want to really strengthen your immune system, it's so important that you know how it works. So let's talk about those basics. The immune system is made up of just a network of cells and tissues and organs. They work together to protect the body, and its primary job is to keep you safe and healthy. And I don't want to get real technical, but I think this is so important that you understand there's really two main parts to your immune system. There's the innate immune system, which you're born with, and then there's the acquired, or sometimes it's called the adaptive immune system, and that's the one that kind of adapts and it learns as you age. But both of them work really closely together when an immune response is needed. Now, the innate immune system is the body's first line of defense. It's kind of primed and it's ready to fight at all times. And it really consists of your skin, your eyelashes, your mucous membranes. There's linings inside those openings, all those internal tracts. And these all kind of create a physical barrier so that when you get invaders like parasites and viruses and toxins and pathogens and fungi and all that harmful stuff, it can kind of stop it there. Okay, there's also in that innate immune system, there's the white blood cells, and there's sometimes called leukocytes, and they work to defend and protect your human body. And they are constantly looking out for invaders that they want to kill. Now, if the innate system gets overwhelmed, then it will trigger your hypothalamus in the brain to increase the body's core temperature. Okay, that's where the fever comes from. And then it starts to call on the adaptive immune system to help it fight these intruders. Now, the adaptive immune system is a little slower in the way it responds to threats and infections than the innate immune system, because it's only activated when it is actually exposed to some kind of pathogen. But the cool thing about this system is that it really uses that immunological memory to make the cells or to make antibodies that are going to protect your body from specific invaders. And so in other words, once it's been exposed to an invader, it remembers it. Okay, so it kind of provides this long-lasting defense and protection against any recurrent infections. Now, this entire process that I've been talking about is happening all the time without you even knowing it, okay? I mean, believe that, okay? And it happens without your knowledge, especially when you're healthy, okay? But the second you start seeing symptoms arise, then that's how you really know that it's working. So keep in mind that although the symptoms may be uncomfortable, like the fever, like you might be getting a little mucus, that's proof, okay, that your immune system is hard at work, bringing your body back to balance, okay? Because your body wants to be in balance. And keep in mind that even babies, when they're less than a year, they don't have that adaptive immune system, but they've got their mom's antibodies from their breast milk. So that's why that is really so important for them to have. But there are some things that will really weaken your immune system. So let's talk about what those things are. Because those signs are things that you can actually be on the forefront of and not just wait until you're totally run down and things are taking over your body to go into action. So these are the things that really will weaken it. Stress is really high on the list. We always kind of put this first because we don't realize how important this is. But it means that your adrenal glands, your stress and your energy glands are shot, okay, when your stress is high. And that also means that your cortisol gas pedal is like pressed all the way to the floor. Okay, that's where your stress hormones, they're hyper, okay, and you're spending way too much time in that fight or flight mode, and it leaves you exhausted, okay. Your immune system will suffer greatly if you aren't subsequently allowing your body to spend time in rest and repair mode. And what my doctor talked to me about was that I was constantly in a high stress mode, not even realizing it, because what I was saying was, I'm controlling it, I'm feeling just fine. And my doctor had to explain to me that if your body has run a marathon, you might be excited about winning that marathon, but your body knows it's won a marathon. So it's really important to manage stress, to not continually live in a high stress mode, even if you think you're handling it just fine. Now, the second thing that can weaken your immune system is that you're kind of always feeling sick, okay? You know, typically when a person falls sick, the body's adaptive immune system, as I explained before, creates those antibodies, and you learn how to defend itself against the intruder if it's presented with that again. But if your body seems to always be catching something, every little thing that comes around, or you get the same thing in a cycle certain times of the year, that means your immune system could probably use some serious attention. I didn't realize this because I was always getting strep throat, and several times through the year. I didn't realize there was an issue with having a weakened immune system. The third thing is if you have regular stomach issues. I can talk a lot about this because nearly 70% of your immune system is in your gut, and that's where your good bacteria is present in that digestive system and your immune system. And if you're noticing that you're having stuff like diarrhea or constipation, you don't have this kind of normal routine, chances are again that your immune system isn't functioning optimally and you've got some real gut issues. I mean, I have had some chronic digestive issues until I really started realizing these things and started working on it and started paying attention to these signs and started giving my immune system the support that it needed. Now, the third thing that you want to watch out for is if you're not healing quickly. When the body is injured, like a cut, a bruise, or a burn, nutrients within the blood just immediately rush to that area to help it heal. Quick healing requires healthy immune cells, however. So if your immune system isn't being properly cared for, your blood may not have the nutrients it needs to rebuild and regenerate like it should. And that will leave the wound susceptible to further injury or infection, which you don't want to happen. And then lastly, if you're finding that you're battling frequent infections, okay, if you're noticing that you got 5 ear infections a year, or you get pneumonia more than once a year, or several cases of sinus issues, and you're having to take antibiotics on a regular basis often, then that's definitely a sign that you've got a weakened immune system and it's in serious need of some assistance. And these are just some of the signs of an immune system that's really in distress. So it's really important that you learn to listen to your body, to keep mental tabs on what your body acts and responds to and how things are going in the world around you, if you're going to really boost this immune system. And I'm going to tell you, let's talk about 5 ways next that you can really support this immune system. So one of the ways that we found is just using some of the herbs. There's lots of different herbs out there because the plants were given to us for health. And we know echinacea is really a great herb out there. There's a 2012 study that was published that talked about how echinacea showed maximum effects for recurrent infections, and preventive effects increase when participants used echinacea to prevent the common cold. We know elderberry is another plant that's often used for its just array of health benefits, including its ability to fight colds, the flu, the allergies, inflammation. We actually have a recipe where we combine the wolfberry with the elderberry to make a syrup, if you're interested in that. give me a shout out later. Another herb that we know a little bit about, there's so many that we have science on, but another one is ginseng. The roots, the stems, the leaves. It's been very beneficial in helping the immune system and supporting it. And it also is helpful in supporting antibody production. Of course, we know that food is always going to be one that supports our immune system, but some specifics that we're learning about is bone broth. It's really an excellent option for supporting both your immune system and your digestive system. The collagen and the amino acids that are in the bone broth really help tears that may be in your gut lining, which in turn will help your immune system to function better. We also know ginger is another fantastic food to incorporate on a regular basis. It's known to have that ability to help cleanse the lymphatic system and to rid the body of toxins and waste. And it also helps the body to maintain a healthy inflammatory response. Another one that's really good you might be hearing a lot about is green tea. It's filled with a lot of antioxidants and amino acids that help fight germs and stay well. And you might really want to make sure that you've got foods that are rich in vitamin C. We'll talk about this, but those foods are citrus fruits, the bell peppers. They provide an anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant properties that are so important. And then there's foods that are rich in beta carotene. So those would be foods like your carrots, your pumpkin, your sweet potatoes, your bell peppers, your kale, your apricots, your spinach, your greens, your collard greens, really great in terms of the antioxidants. And we know that also helps reduce inflammation and to fight oxidative stress. And of course, I have to mention the Ningxia wolfberry, because it is just a power food when it comes to antioxidants and other molecules that are really, really helpful in supporting the immune system. Unfortunately, right now, our food supply is not such that it can give us everything we need to support our immune system, mainly because of the agricultural practices of today and also just because of our lifestyle. And so another thing that's very, very helpful is going to be essential oils. Now, I just have to warn you, when we talk about essential oils, you want to make sure that you're getting one that's very, very pure. Companies only have to put 5% of a pure oil in it, and then they can put anything else in the bottle and they can still label it natural. So that's why I only trust Young Living, because I know exactly what's in the bottle. I know it's 100% of whatever essential oil that they say that it is. But we know that when you use the essential oils, they support the immune system. I just really encourage you, make sure you're getting one that's trustworthy. If you're going to be using it internally, you must make sure that you have oils that say they can be ingested and they're pure. We know that oils are used in our food supply in many ways and are ingested. So it's not to say don't ever use essential oils, but you want to make sure they're labeled for the ones that are pure. We have a Vitality line that's labeled definitely, so you know that they are for ingestion. And some of the ones that we found that really have properties for immune support, so many, but I'm just gonna, a few of them that I thought about is cilantro Vitality, clove Vitality, there's cumin Vitality, lavender Vitality, there's lemon Vitality, nutmeg Vitality, orange Vitality, oregano, you probably heard a lot about oregano Vitality, rosemary Vitality, tangerine Vitality, thyme Vitality, and the thieves Vitality, which has a blend of oils in it. Oils are really easy to use, and so I like that because sometimes you just need a little drop in your food, or put a few drops into a capsule, and that's another way to really boost the immune system. And we'll talk about that just a tad bit more. Of course, supplements we found are going to be necessary. When I first was studying nutrition, they would tell us that you could get everything you needed from food. And that was over 40 years ago. Now we know, as I mentioned before, because of the agricultural practices, because of our lifestyle habits, people just cannot, very rarely, get what they need just from the food. And so supplementation is really going to be important. And again, you want supplements that are going to be bioavailable. You want supplements your body's going to use. And again, that's why I prefer the Young Living. But I really definitely encourage you to look for a good probiotic, because that's going to feed the gut that we've talked about. And you want to make sure you have that good gut bacteria that's going on there. A D is one that you hear a lot that you can get from the sunshine. But if you need a little bit more support, then the Super D is going to be wonderful. But do your research on that. I'm going to talk to you about a few that I think are very helpful and cost effective as well as we go on. And then the last thing is your lifestyle. We cannot leave this out, because you really do, as I mentioned earlier, want to manage the stress in your life. You want to take some time and look at what that's like. Look at the activities that you have, the types of stress, the negative things that are coming into your mind that you're thinking about during the day, the people that you're interacting with. All of that puts a stress on you. Your inability to care for yourself if you're caring for others. One of the ways to work on that is to stimulate your vagus nervous system. That's the longest cranial nerve in your body, and it can really, really help you relieve stress. And the reason I mentioned that today is because it's so simple to stimulate that. Even if you're not doing any of the other things to manage your stress that we'll talk about in other classes, but just gargling water will stimulate that vagus nerve. Humming, singing, meditation. If you get an adjustment at the chiropractor, laughing is one. Of course, exercise, sometimes just splashing cold water on your face. All of those are things that can quickly just stimulate that vagus nerve, which really is going to benefit your immune system. And then, of course, you want to get quality sleep, that part of your lifestyle. We know no matter what, people need, adults need 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. And if you can't catch up with it. So you really have to work at trying to get it each evening as possible. And then of course your water and your air quality are very, very important. Tap water, we know, that has chemicals that often stress the immune system. So trying to get your water filtered or as pure as you can is always going to be helpful when it comes to your immune system. I know that oftentimes it's a lot for people to do. So I just wanted to spend the last few minutes with you, just telling you just a few of some of the supplements that I have used that put together that are just really quick to use, but very, very powerful in building the immune system. And I just have to start with my favorite, which is the Ningxia Red. I know you don't have a lot of time, but the Ningxia Red is so powerful because it's actually a puree. So it's almost like they've done the smoothie thing for you. You're getting all of the benefits of the foods that are in it, and in a form with the fiber, everything. So it's going to be available in your body. It's just packed with powerful superfoods. I mean, it's got the Ningxia wolfberry, which is the most sought after wolfberry on the planet. And then it has plum, it has aronia, it has cherry, has blueberry, it has pomegranate juice. It does not have cheap juices in it, okay? And these are juice extracts and purees that are the perfect way to start your day off. Clinical studies have really shown that Ningxia, when you take it, it increases your energy levels naturally. And because of that, it improves your sleep patterns, and it increases the time you sleep. And it also helps reduce the daily stress and that you're feeling, so that it improves your mental well-being. It also has essential oils of orange and yuzu and lemon and tangerine. These are all essential oils that boost the immune system. And all these ingredients are known to prevent oxidative stress. So they really support your normal cellular function, helping your cells to really reproduce other healthy cells instead of producing non-healthy disease cells. I mean, we just know that Ningxia Red prevents that oxidative stress. It provides the energy without the caffeine. You get this synergistic blend of essential oils that supports your natural health, supports your digestive system. It is just all around amazing. And then it's got all these other things like MSN and MSM and the phenols, and it's got ECGE. I could go on and on of just the other things that they have discovered that are in here that are so powerful. So the one thing I always like to make sure I get at least 2 ounces of Ningxia every day. And on days when I'm really feeling something coming on or feeling like I need more support, I will try to get 2 to 4 ounces in a day. So Ningxia is just perfect to start out with. And then of course, there's abundance of research on vitamin C, just so much, because we know the C support normal immune, respiratory, circulatory function. But what's unique about the Super C is that it's also fortified with rutin and citrus bioflavonoids and minerals that will help balance your electrolytes and enhance the effectiveness and absorption of your vitamin C. So we know that all supplements aren't created equal, and you might be taking a supplement and your body's not even using it. And that's another reason why I like the Super C, because it also has, it's enhanced with what is needed, so your body's going to use it. And we know the ingredients in the Super C strengthen your connective tissue, besides promoting the overall health and vitality and longevity. And keep in mind, your body just cannot manufacture vitamin C. So it's so important that you are consuming this powerful antioxidant on a very daily basis. And really, it only takes maybe a couple of tablets daily if you're just doing it for maintenance. And if something's really going on, you might want to up that a little bit. But it's one I definitely want to make sure I'm always getting in every day. And another one that I always want to make sure I'm getting in every day are my B vitamins. Okay. What I like about this one is a full spectrum of B vitamins. So not isolating out Bs, which sometimes people do. And the reason this is important is because it's using a folate. It has a naturally sourced folate for the B9 that's going to come from lemon peels. Again, the closer that we can get to the actual food, the better. And then it has methylcobalamin, which is a more bioavailable source of B12. So sometimes people are taking an isolated B9 or isolated B12, and they're not getting the benefit. But if you're suffering from like sleep deprivation, this really helps because that B12 is so efficient. And then, of course, it's chelated with minerals like the calcium, magnesium, the zinc, the selenium, manganese, and then it also has a little nutmeg essential oil, which again helps improve the absorption and the bioavailability of this supplement. It is so critical that our bodies receive the adequate levels of all 8 different vitamin Bs, the Bs, on a daily basis. Okay, which is why we call it a B complex, because these 8 vitamins really activate critical enzymes in our cells that help to break down and build the molecules that are essential for life. And so without these vitamins, our cells fail to kind of grow, they fail to divide and to differentiate, and the metabolic processes that provide us with a constant source of energy and vitality will come to a screeching halt. And our red blood cells won't replenish, and our immune system is really impaired when we don't get this. So our DNA will fail to repair itself properly. Our stem cells will find it difficult to replace our aging tissue, and we have all kinds of problems. So when we have a deficiency with a complex of the B vitamins, we'll find things like fatigue and neuropathy and irregular heartbeat and edema and confusion, short-term memory loss, difficulty concentrating, dizziness, skin disorders, hair loss, sore throat, anemia, cataracts, reproductive problems, the gastrointestinal issues, depression, headache, shortness of breath, and just an array of neurological problems. So it's really important to get it. And remember, the body can't synthesize these 8 molecules. They're not really stored in the body for long periods of time. So over the time, so except the B9 and the 12, but it's imperative then that you're really replenishing this complex of B vitamins in your diet and through supplementation. I really try to remember too that bees normally are inactivated when they're heated. So things like microwaving or food processing can also be harmful. And also a lot of food preservatives such as your sulfites can inactivate your B vitamins. So be very careful when you're going after them, that you're looking for a super B vitamin complex that you're going to be able to use effectively in your body. And then lastly, I just want to share with you one of my favorite that is really unique to Young Living, because it's an essential oil gel capsule. It's so easy to use. And I love it because it has the oils of oregano, thyme, and thieves, which is that blend that has clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, radiata, and rosemary. And all of those, I would encourage you to just do the research on how beneficial they are to your immune health. But these little liquid capsules, I carry them with me everywhere I go. You just kind of pop them in, and they are just so effective because, they dissolve quickly, and then it helps the body create this unfriendly terrain that's in your body, so yeast and fungi can't thrive there, and it just really reinforces the systemic defenses of your immune system. And it also helps promote just a healthy respiratory function, which is also just a real part of your immune system. So I just really, really love this particular supplement for just how effective it is. And some people need to take it when they take it with food. I can just take it at any time. Sometimes I will take it when I feel like I really just need some additional support. Other times when I feel like I'm going to be in high stress situations, traveling, some of those things, I will take it on a regular basis as a protective, a way to protect my immune system. So I just wanted to share those few things with you. People often ask me, how do you get started? It's just going to cost me so much. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you, you can start out with this immune support stack. Okay, it'll provide you with all the support that we've talked about. I mean, it includes the nutritional support you need. It includes essential oils that are so effective. It includes ways that can help you manage your stress with the supplements, as well as some of the tips and ideas that I've given you. And all this will help you just shift to this healthier lifestyle, help you boost your immune system. And you know what? It's only about $5 a day. Okay. So what is your health worth? Okay. It's such a small price for me to pay for such vibrant, optimal health. We can't get it back. And so I was really excited to be able to share this with you today during this little time that we have together. So I want to let you know that it's really easy to get. I know you want to get the best deal when you do this. There's a QR code you can go. That QR code will take you, and you can actually get that supplement stack if you're interested in those, or you can add on to it if there are other things that you want to add with it. You can immediately unlock the 24% discount just by your first order of 100 PV or more. Or if you put yourself on the loyalty order, where you're getting your supplements as you want them on a monthly basis, you can unlock that 24% discount. You'll also be eligible to get free points, free products, all kinds of goodies by doing that. So just take a snapshot of that QR code or give me a buzz. Let me help you get started. today is the day to make sure that you are boosting your immune system. I want to tell you, thank you so much for being with me today during this wellness hour. Okay, I think we did it in a little less than an hour. And I just really pray that you will do everything you can to stay above the wellness line, that you won't wait until you're in such a diseased state. But even if you are, these are ways that can help boost your immune system and get you closer to your wellness goals than you had before, in a natural way, in a way that you're cooperating with the way that God designed. So thank you so much for being with me today, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Love you guys.